So good morning everybody, my name's Peter Stokes and like Mike I'm a resourcer at Veolia. I'm in charge of the global key accounts of Veolia Water Technologies. So solutions to limit the impact and consequences of climate change are industrial, we've seen that from Mike, but they're also technological, and I've got an example to show you today. The story starts in Qingdao, which is a city of about 5 million people population in Shandong province in northeast China, and it's water scarce. Over the past few years it's undergone some rapid expansion, and today they're seeing a lot of pressure on water demand and water supply, to the point where it's now become a bottleneck and restriction of economic and social sustainable development in the city. Hence Qingdao is part of C40. C40 is a global network of the world's megacities who are collaborating to address climate change. So as part of that commitment on C40, as part of their own stringent climate change commitment, and to support Qingdao water programme, Nestle implemented their zero water programme in 2017 at their Qingdao factory. The aim was to identify water saving, water reduction solutions that will protect and preserve the natural resources available. The factory in Qingdao manufactures dairy products. Part of the products involve milk powder. The process to get milk powder is the evaporation of milk, and part of the product that results in that is what we call milk water or cow water, and that's contaminated water. But when you consider that milk is on average about 87% water, you can imagine the volumes of that contaminated water that are produced when you evaporate the milk. So given that potential alternative water source on the factory, Veolia were invited to study the whole water table at the factory. So the first project we looked at was to enhance the wastewater treatment. So we installed technologies which would improve the quality of the wastewater, so they didn't have to discharge that water to the city sewer anymore. They could actually reuse that water. It was of the sufficient quality to reuse in the utilities. The second project was to install technologies to treat that large volume of the milk and cow water. We recovered that water, installed it into the factory network with a closed loop of water. The technologies not only remove the remaining salts and minerals from that contaminated water, they also remove organic compounds and bacteria, which contribute to the really strong burnt milk smell and would cause problems in the downstream network later on. So in total, the water that is recovered and reused is used on the factory for cooling, for cleaning, for other industrial utilities. And on average, the factory is saving and recycling 16,500 tonnes per month of water. That's the equivalent of about 6 Olympic-sized swimming pools every month. Or to put that into perspective, that's 500,000 litres of water per day that the factory no longer have to take from the environment or the city. This is the third dairy factory in Nestle to implement a Veolia solution. The other two successful projects were in Mexico and South Africa. And in certain circumstances, production efficiency, production demands and weather conditions, the factories are actually seen to be water positive. They produce more water than they actually consume. And in Mexico factory, they've actually been able to sell and supply water to the factory next door. So overall, the reduction in discharge and extraction of water in the complete neighbourhood is very much reduced. Nestle will continue with their really strong commitments on climate and on addressing climate change. They will continue to focus on water reduction and water usage in water-stressed areas. So we expect these projects to continue in the dairy division and in other divisions of Nestlé and in other companies around the world as this technology becomes widely available. So Nestlé have tackled the climate change consequences. It is feasible, it's economically achievable. Veolia will continue to work to develop and deploy and install solutions and technologies that we can leverage around the world. Thank you.